Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. We've got the XRP chart here on the hourly, and as you guys can see, we haven't seen much price movement over the last little while. XRP has just been moving sideways since about the 18th of April. Right, we've just been seeing this kind of sideways movement for XRP and other cryptocurrencies as well. Let me throw Fibonacci on here real quick. You guys can see if I bring this up here, the XRP price staying very, very close to the 0.236 in and around here. So we need to break out of that. We need to find something that will catapult XRP, not just XRP, but the altcoin market or cryptocurrencies as a whole, catapult those prices upward. Of course, we tend to look at BTC, Bitcoin, to see if there's anything interesting here that we can perhaps examine. And Bitcoin here, right after that move down, still hugging the 0.236 as well. So nothing really to write home about. Yesterday we did see a green day on the market. Today's market cap is just over 2 billion. And Bitcoin dominance is slipping. We're only at about 50.1% for Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin trading at about 53.9, down 2.89%. Ethereum trading at $2,524. It is doing quite well, up almost 10% in the last 24 hours. Binance Coin down about 6%. XRP down about 6%. So mostly red. We have seen some weird outliers like Ethereum, Uniswap, Litecoin that are up right now, but most of the crypto market is down. Now, I saw this, and this was posted right after the SEC lawsuit was announced. In 2019, David Schwartz predicted exactly what the SEC ended up doing. But if you listen to what David Schwartz says here, it's basically like he's from the future.
It's very hard to decide how the laws apply. And that's why I think you'll see many organizations, Ripple and many others, Coin Center is another, lobbying regulators not so much to change the law, but to clarify it, like to tell us what it is that we need to do so that someone doesn't come down 2 years later and say, hey, what you were doing completely in the open and completely transparently for the last 4 years was illegal from day one, and you should have known that. And we're like, we meet with you like every week about what we're doing, and now you're telling us we should have realized 4 years ago that it was fundamentally and completely illegal? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And so
it doesn't make any sense, does it? I thought it was important to bring this up because we have had some new developments in the case. Ian Northing here posting this. Drama. This is breaking news. Ripple versus the SEC. Judge grants Ripple an order to release all information regarding Jay Clayton and One River Asset Management. So here's the latest document just released yesterday. All documents reflecting the company's communications relating to Jay Clayton. This is what they have to provide, okay? All documents reflecting communications by the company with the SEC since January 1st of 2012 regarding the legal status of any digital asset, including but not limited to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Number 3, all documents reflecting company communications and or analysis since 2012 regarding the legal status as a security of Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP, including but not limited to any reliance on the company on any statements made by Jay Clayton. So this guy is finally getting roped into this SEC lawsuit. All documents reflecting Jay Clayton's compensation agreed upon or anticipated, including but not limited to compensation for serving on One River Digital Asset Management LLC's Academic and Regulatory Advisory Council. All documents reflecting communication between the company and Jay Clayton in 2020 and 2021 about Jay Clayton's potentially joining the company in any capacity, including any communications relating to ethical issues relating to such a position. So it sounds as though their intention is to really examine these documents for the ethical issues, if there were any missteps by Mr. Jay Clayton along the way. And perhaps, now I know he's not under investigation, but perhaps could it be that those get addressed finally? Number 6 here, all documents reflecting communications between Jay Clayton and the company relating to Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP. All documents relating to the company's assessment that to date, speculators and investors seeking to profit from either short or long-term holdings of Bitcoin or Ether drive much of the demand for them, and competitive products may develop which compete for market share, including but not limited to the identification of any such competitive products. Then down here, we've got the rules of construction. So I will link this in the description, of course. As I always do, you guys can read this at your leisure. This is Exhibit 5. Thank you to Ian Northing for posting that. So here's Wrath of Kahneman's view on this. Note, this motion confirms Ripple subpoenaed Clayton's subsequent employer to establish a financial motivation for the suit because they invest exclusively in BTC and ETH. And I think that this is the bigger point here. The employer that employs Jay Clayton currently has a vested interest in the exact cryptocurrencies, the only, like literally 100% of the cryptocurrencies that the SEC has given the all clear for. So this is where the conflict lies. Let me just read you guys this. Third, on March 31st, 2021, defendants served a third-party subpoena for documents relating to former Chair Clayton's compensation after his tenure at the SEC. See Exhibit 5, which I just read part of that for you guys. At the April 14th meet and conference, Ripple explained that because the target firm invested exclusively in Bitcoin and Ether, this request was prohibitive to the financial motivations of the decision makers involved in the decision to bring this action. But this action was approved by a vote of a full commission, and it is difficult to fathom how discovery of an individual commissioner's finances is in any way appropriate under the federal rules of civil procedure, particularly when the court has already ruled that there is no need to produce the bank records of defendants in this case who made hundreds of millions of dollars from any illegal offerings of securities. Wrath of Kahneman down here also posts the exhibit. So a lot of people on this today. Also retweeting out Jeremy Hogan's tweet, the judge's initial oral ruling was a touch vague, but contrary to what the SEC states in this letter, she did state she was granting access to internal memos being sent to higher ranking officials expressing the agency's interpretation on these matters. Anthony Egan down here saying, it's about time the expensive, powerful legal teams turn their direction on Clayton and Hinman, I think he means. They need focusing on their financial rewards benefits since leaving the SEC. Go for them directly, see what happens. And you know what? It's not impossible that there could be another lawsuit following this. I mean, weirder things have happened. Crypto Penny down here saying, if this is true, it's a bombshell against the SEC. Yeah, a dingo ate my XRP, mate. He says, surprised the SEC lawyer has object permanence. Ripple bad, therefore, give us all the financial documents is not an argument. You need a specific reason to take that request. Ripple subpoena of Clayton is key to their argument around motivation. So Jay Clayton, I'm sure you guys are very excited to hear this. Queen Crypto mentioning this. Judge grants Ripple an order to release all information regarding Jay Clayton and One Asset River Management. Jay Clayton was hired by One River on March 29th, 2021. One River manages a $2.5 billion institutional Bitcoin hedge fund. Notice, too, that he only joined last month, less than a month ago, as of the recording of this video. And the fact that, even though this is an issue about what happened with XRP between the years of 2013 and 2019 or 2020, right up to the lawsuit, they are still bringing in this information because it sounds as though they think there was something nefarious going on, and Jay Clayton's move to One River Asset Management is just another part of this story, even though, this started off as Ripple is selling XRP, using it as a security to fund their bid. It's funny how things, I guess I'm just saying, it's funny how things end up. One River Asset Management was funded by Alan Howard. I'm reading the next tweet here in this thread. Alan Howard was signed by Chris Wheeler, Citadel Group, to manage CJW Capital Management. CJW Capital is funded by George Soros. Wait, remember the Citadel Capital and SLV squeeze? Hello, George. Exhibit 5, Ripple subpoena to One River Asset Management. And here, Queen Crypto also links the exhibit number 5. So the judge gets it. Just because the SEC holds internal boards and sign away papers approving this corruption doesn't mean it's not corrupt. This whole, I signed a piece of paper with the SEC letterhead, which makes it cool argument will not fly in court. And I agree. I think that, they're getting down to the nuts and bolts of this. They are bringing in the players that really need to be put on trial here for corruption. And, will we get some kind of a verdict? I don't know. I also saw this. The SEC wants to prevent Ripple from searching its staff's personal devices. So on top of what's been going on, the SEC is seeking a court order that would prevent distributed ledger company Ripple from obtaining its internal communications and searching the personal devices of commission staff. So they are saying, we do not want Ripple's lawyers to be looking at our staff's cell phone texts, their personal devices, because that has nothing to do with the case. As reported by You Today, Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn partially granted the defendant's motion to compel the production of documents related to Bitcoin and Ether on April 6th. However, the SEC SEC now says Ripple is making new and broader claims that go far beyond the court order, accusing the company of discovery, gamesmanship, and harassment. So again, I will leave this here. Lots to go over today. And here, James K. Fillon also filling us in on this. Ripple requested an additional 2 days to respond to today's SEC discovery filing. Ripple has asked to be allowed to respond on Wednesday, April 28th. The SEC has consented to the request. So that's the up-to-date news here. Meanwhile, it's looking as though the entire cryptocurrency space is moving in the right direction in the United States. This I saw from DJ Peter Vass. U.S. House passes bill to form digital asset working group. So this is brand new, okay? Operating frameworks and at least some guidelines on just what cryptocurrencies are and how they should be, maybe in the offing sooner rather than later. On Tuesday, which was April 20th, the U.S. House of Representatives passed several pieces of legislation focused on financial services, with one key bill aiming for clarity and transparency in the crypto space through a working group staffed by individuals from 2 regulatory commissions. House Resolution 1602, officially titled the Eliminate Barriers to Innovation Act, would mandate that the Security and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, and the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, set up a working group known as the SEC and CFTC Working Group on Digital Assets, which would submit a report within a year that analyzes the legal and regulatory framework tied to digital assets. So they're getting there, they're working on it, and they want the 2 popular kids to work together and make some kind of consideration for how to accept the new shiny toy in the sandbox, namely cryptocurrency digital assets. So the frameworks and impacts, the group will analyze the impact and lack of clarity in such a framework has on primary and secondary markets in digital assets, and how current regimes impact the competitive position of the United States when it comes to digital assets. Recommendations are directed to focus on creation, maintenance, and improvement of primary and secondary markets in digital assets, including improving the fairness, transparency, and orderliness of these markets. So there's a lot to go through here, and they are leaving it up to the SEC and the CFTC to come to some sort of conclusion. Now, I also saw this, guys, from the Cryptic Poet. Congress passes the digital bill, innovation to clarify crypto regulations, as I had just mentioned, and here's what they have to say about it, at least in Congress. Listen to this.
This is a bipartisan bill that addresses the much-needed collaboration between the Commodities Futures Trading Commission and the Securities and Exchange Commission. What we have is a regulation of commodities through one entity of our federal government here in the United States, and regulation of securities by another entity of our government. What we need is conversation between those 2 entities about the nature of digital assets and cryptocurrencies. We have neither a security nor a commodity in what is a new creation of digital assets. Now, what we see with the CFTC is that everything is a commodity in their worldview, and the Securities and Exchange Commission thinks, well, you're close, everything's actually a security. And so they each want to regulate something that is not in their nature to regulate, or not in the substance of their capacity to regulate. And so we have neither fish nor fowl, neither security nor what the Commodities Futures Trading Commission wants to regulate in their world. And so you have neither fish nor fowl when it comes to this new creation of cryptocurrencies.
You have neither fish nor fowl. And this is the biggest problem. Each body wants to regulate it as they see fit, and nobody is coming to any sort of conclusion. Meanwhile, the United States is suffering technologically. The cold crypto war, I suppose, some have deemed it, against countries like China, Russia. All these countries have already moved towards innovation, and the United States, because government can't seem to figure out what to clarify, how to classify these things, are inadvertently being left behind, and the crypto industry is seeing this. The crypto industry, Ripple included, is saying, what the heck is going on, guys? You are ruining this for everybody. Let's get a move on. Why are we wasting our time here? And so now we're finally seeing some type of progress, I suppose, in government with regards to cryptocurrency regulatory clarity. Something that we were hoping would have happened over the last year or so, maybe even over the last 2 years. We were talking about it since 2019, even as early as 2018. So, here we are, years on, and we're still trying to figure it out. But you know what? It's not all doom and gloom. I've been saying this from the beginning. there is real world utility. There is going to be price action based on fundamentals of cryptocurrencies, how they're going to be utilized, real world demand. This is kind of the longer term plan. But guys, we are still in a bull run. There is still the spec market that gets people very, very excited. If I put Bitcoin here on the daily, you guys can see that the market has been moving up over the last year or so. And now we're kind of at a critical point here. Is Bitcoin going to make new all-time highs? Are we kind of at the end of this bull run? What's going to happen to altcoins? Of course, we have seen certain altcoins that have just come out of nowhere and surprised us, like Dogecoin, for example. And Crypto Eddie posted this. This is a clip with Mike Novogratz, and Crypto Eddie pointed this out. XRP army will die more slowly than you predict. Did I hear that right? I'm not entirely sure if this is what he meant, but you guys judge for yourself. Listen to this clip.
Mike, you mentioned the fact that there's no institutions behind this, so lots of questions just about, clearly the real value of it, but where Dogecoin goes from here. We had a guest actually on our air yesterday saying that he expects Dogecoin to cease to exist here in the future. Would you agree with that?
You know, it could. Listen, these coins are owned by communities, right? There's a decentralization to them. And what I've learned is they're almost like European soccer teams, right? They have their own songs, their own mythos, their own vocabulary. If you're part of XRP or the XRP army, or if you own Luna, you're a lunatic. And so they die more slowly than people predict, right? I think of it sometimes like when President Trump started getting all this support, you kept scratching your head after he made kind of gaffe after gaffe or did one horrible thing after another. He's like, well, who can keep following him? Who can keep following him? And he never lost his support base. There was this group that just, they're gonna die being President Trump supporters. And in some ways, some of these cryptos will go down slowly. Now listen, prices are set on the margin. If there's not new money that moves into the system, the price goes down. And so I do think the price of Doge will head back, much lower than it is as the energy gets lost in the Doge 420 or the excitement of the young kids trying to push it up. But I'm not positive it goes to zero. There will be some diehard Doge community that supports it somewhere.
All right, so you guys heard that clip. These communities will die more slowly than you can predict. But was he calling out the XRP community specifically? XRP Darren here saying, do you think he's funding XRP because he's making moves that would benefit from a low XRP price? I don't buy what he's selling, says Blockchain Trucker. He's super long XRP. Other people chiming in here, XRP Twin. I'd rather hear community, but still here. I don't know what that means. So a lot of people here suggesting, Mike Novogratz doesn't know what he's talking about. He's doing the opposite, so on and so forth. Novogratz is starting to be an old man now. The new generation and the XRP community are young and represents the future. No, Mike, you're wrong. We will outlive you. Massimo saying, wow, what a jerk. And I think if you listen again to what he's saying, he's not actually saying that the XRP community is going to die. What he was referring to here was the question of Dogecoin, and Mike Novogratz was extrapolating to other communities, of course the XRP community being one of the biggest ones I'm sure that he knows about. And he even said, the Doge community, there will always be people putting money even into Doge, let alone XRP. And so what he was trying to say, and I think it didn't come out entirely correctly, was that these communities will take longer to die than you think. And if you guys did catch what he said near the end here, let me play it for you again.
Prices are set on the margin. If there's not new money that moves into the system, the price goes down. And so I do think the price of Doge will head back, much lower than it is.
So if you take what he says here, he's saying, look, new money has to be put into these cryptocurrencies in order for them to continue to thrive, in order for them to continue to breathe new life into the coin. And so, money will definitely fuel the life of a coin. And what do we know about the spec market? Well, price goes up, price goes down based on the speculators. And we are seeing the exact same thing happen right now for XRP as we are seeing for Doge, as we are seeing for other altcoins. And ultimately, no. Do I think Mike Novogratz thinks the XRP army will die specifically? Again, with reference to this question, he was responding to the Doge army. XRP price, of course, will be bolstered by more money, more utility going into the coin once the SEC lawsuit clears up. Institutions, in my opinion, are also going to be more interested in pumping money into XRP. Mike Novogratz is long XRP. I don't think he's trying to fool anybody here, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.